In this short video we will show you our transfer paper for t-shirts. It comes in a very simple plastic sleeve and everything you need is inside. Transfer paper is used with an ordinary inkjet printer using ordinary inks. Everything you need is in the pack. Despite the fact that it's we refer to it as budget transfer paper, this is a very high quality product. The reason it's referred to as budget is that we strip away all the packaging from it and any fancy paraphernalia. All you get, the whole price, most of the price that you pay is for the paper itself. Inside the pack you have the paper that looks like this. The red grid obviously tells you where not to print. This is the printing surface. Once you have an image, and it can be anything, can be photographs, can be graphics, can be logos, can be anything your imagination or your requirement dictates. Once you have the paper and an ordinary inkjet printer with ordinary inks, you need to print an image on it. On this occasion we've got a silly little dinosaur, but anything, any image that you can imagine will work. Once you have your image printed, and you notice that we've printed it in mirror mode. The reason for it will become apparent, but you must be able to print your image in reverse. It doesn't much matter if it's just the graphic, but if you've got text in it, it's essential that you print it in mirror. Once you have the paper ready and printed, we can move this printer away to one side. What you will need is a suitable ironing surface. A suitable ironing surface means something that will not be damaged when you apply heat to it. So I'm going to put just a cutting board, a piece of wood, anything strong and solid. You notice that I'm not doing it on an ironing board. You should not do the transfer on an ironing board, because you won't be able to apply the correct pressure onto it. So once you have your paper ready and your ironing surface, what I'm going to do is just put a t-shirt on top, just to cushion the surface a little bit, just to protect it a little bit more and give it a bit of a give. And the t-shirt itself, this is the t-shirt we're going to actually print on. I'm going to give it a bit of an iron. This is to smooth out any creases. I'll take this opportunity to talk about the iron. I'm using a very high quality iron here, but it has to be an iron that is over about 1200 watts. Although this is a steam iron, we switched the steam off, so we're not going to use the steam on it at all, and it's set to maximum temperature. Once everything is ready, and again, you can do this at any time. You can do this a day before. You don't have to particularly, it's not time sensitive what we're doing now. I'm going to cut out any of the white areas which are not part of the image. I'm going to do it quite roughly. You can be as careful as you want, but it's best to leave as little as possible, about 3 or 4 millimeters around the image. The film will not really be visible, but it will, the more you leave, the more it will be apparent. So you can see I'm doing it really quickly. We're showing it to you in real time just to show you how easy this is and how little expertise is required from nothing to create quite a funny t-shirt, personalized, something special, something specific to an event or a logo, or pretty much anything your imagination dictates. So remember, we printed this in mirror mode. There's the mirrored text, and we're now placing it. We're going to place it face down onto the shirt. So the red squares are visible. We've pre-ironed the shirt. We've preheated our iron. This has been heating up for about 5 minutes at maximum temperature. This is a 1400 watt iron. We've turned off the steam, and now all we have to do is apply the heat. and putting quite a lot of pressure on this iron. Pressure is important, as well as the time we take to iron. On an image like this, we're looking at about 30 seconds. If you're doing a full A4 image, it takes about a minute. But it is a minute on each part of the image. So you notice I'm making sure that I cover every single part of the image with heat. I'm leaning on the iron. Pressure is very important. A lot of mistakes are made by just ironing it with a couple of fingers. You will actually transfer the image, but it won't be durable unless you use some elbow grease, some weight over it. Don't need to break the iron, but the firm pressure on a flat, firm surface is essential. If you're doing it on an ironing board, it will not work, because the ironing board has got some gaps in it. Normally it has a mesh underneath, and you can't really put pressure on it. It will give a bit. So this is about ready, about 30 seconds. And we will now let it cool down. So we'll I've cooled this down to room temperature, probably about 5 minutes. You can't speed it up by putting it on a piece of metal, but it has to be at room temperature. Give it a little bit of stretch and peel away. If you make a mistake like this, not a problem. If you have a tear in it, if it tears midway through peeling, just pick off a corner and carry on. This can be done at any time. It's not critical. If you can't wait too long with this, you can do it the day later. So once we peeled off, no ink has been left on our transfer paper. The whole of the ink and the film has transferred onto the t-shirt. And now, just to give it a little bit more longevity and washability, we need to fix the image, and the image is fixed with a silicone paper. Once you transferred the image, we need to finish it. There's another little quick stage that we have to carry out to give it a little bit more strength and longevity in the washing machine. And this is done with a reusable silicone paper, which is supplied in the pack. So the pack contains everything you need. This is like a parchment, a bit like a greaseproof paper. It has a silicone coating to prevent anything sticking to it. We put it back on the exposed image, back with the same iron. We haven't switched it off. We're giving it about 20 seconds of heat again. Again, the instructions are very, very clear with the timings and the sizes. Pressure is again important. Give it a bit of elbow grease to push the image even further into the t-shirt. And you peel it hot. Again, don't panic about it, it's silicone paper. You see no image, no ink has gone on top of it. This silicone sheet is reusable. You can see that no ink has come onto it after we re-iron, so you can use that again and again for the amount of transfer paper that you've got in the pack. And the transfer paper, the transfer itself, the image is ready on the shirt and is now finished. This can be washed in a washing machine at 40 degrees with a full spin cycle. Don't do it as a delicate wash. Don't leave it to soak in the first wash and any time after. Use it just like wash it like any other t-shirt. And all you need is in the pack. So silicone paper to finish and a pack of transfer paper.